Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the topic that is nasal drug delivery system under the part of the novel drug delivery system. The first one we have to see the introduction part. So in that we have to say that it is one of the type of the mucoadhesive drug delivery system. Previous the session video we have to see the mucoadhesive drug delivery system. So we can say that the administration of the drug through the nasal route, nasal administrations, that is referred as a nasal drug delivery system. So nasal administration is a route of administration in which drug are insufflated through the nose for either the purpose of local or systemic actions or effect. So drugs are administered through the nasal cavity by different type of dosage form that we have to incorporate or administered through the nasal drug delivery systems like solution, emulsion, gel, like that, etc. So nasal drug delivery system that is receiving the much more attention for the pharmaceutical point of view, pharmaceutical industry, manufacturing part. That nasal drug delivery systems has received a significant, the most important attention in recent the years as a convenient and reliable routes for the drug administrations. We can say not only for the local, previously we have to use only for the local, but also for the systemic administration also nowadays. So about we can say that the 2% of the overall drug delivery system that we have to administer or use, in that the 2% are covered by the nasal route. So it is a nasal route nowadays, it is an alternative to the invasive administrations, and that provide a direct access to the systemic circulations. Then we can say that the intranasals, the medications that we have to administer, that offer a truly needleless solution to the drug delivery as compared to the parenteral. So in the history also, in the therapy through the intranasal administration, that has been, we can say that, accepted as a form of treatment in the Ayurvedic systems of Indian medicine. So nasal therapy that is recognized for the treatment of Indian medicine in the Ayurvedic system, we can say that it is a Nasya Karma. So novel drug delivery system, we can say it is one of the fastest growing healthcare sector. In that, one of the part that is the nasal drug delivery systems are there. So intranasal drug delivery system, we can say now that recognized to be a useful, reliable alternative the options as compared to oral and parenteral. The intranasal administration of medicines for the symptomatic relief and the prevention or treatment of topical nasal conditions, that has been widely used for the long period of time. Especially we can say that when we use for the local effect extensively for the decongestants and local activity into the nasal part. So in the few recent years, many drugs has been shown to achieve better systemic viability through the nasal route as compared to then the oral route or oral administration. So for drug has been administered nasally for both topical as well as systemic actions. So in that we can say that recently the nasal mucosa has given the seriously emerged as a therapeutically viable route for the systemic drug delivery system, which achieve the faster onset of action, higher rate level of drug absorption, viability. So in general we can say the among the primary target for the intranasal administrations are pharmacologically active compounds with poor stability in GI fluid, GI tract, so that is suitable. The poor stability in GI fluid, poor intestinal absorption viability problems are there, so that is also suitable primary target for the intranasal. Extensive hepatic first pass metabolisms, so that also the targeting part for the intranasal. So three parameters that we can say: poor stability in GI tract, poor absorption in GI tract, extensive first pass metabolism eliminations are there. So those drugs are primarily targeted for the nasal drug delivery system. So nasal drug delivery system seems to be a favorable the way to that we can say that the obstacles for the blood-brain barriers that bypass and allowing the direct drug delivery into the central nervous system. So that other than that, it is also we can consider for the administration of vaccine, peptide, non-peptide, protein, polar drugs. Then next, so before we have to go for the formulations for the nasal drug delivery system, so we have to know about the anatomy, physiology part of the nose, their pH, their blood flow, their surface area. So like there's a nasal cavity, we can consist in the passage of the depth of approximately 12 to 14 centimeter. Nasal passage runs start from nasal vestibule to the nasopharynx. So in nasal cavity, generally we have to see in the anatomy. So that consists of three main parts are there: nasal vestibule, respiratory region, olfactory regions are there. So respiratory region, so major drug absorptions. Also we have to go for pulmonary part also. Then olfactory region, small area in the roof of nasal cavity, and the drug is exposed to the neurons, thus facilitate across the cerebrospinal fluid. And nasal cavity is covered with the mucous membrane, and mucous membrane already we have to see in the mucoadhesive drug delivery systems. They consist the composition part. So in that, nasals blood flow, so external internal carotid arteries, nasal secretion, so that the compositions are given. The nasal enzymes, the cytochrome P450 base, the monoxidase, phosphatase, hydrolase, esterase, like that, and the nasal pH that we have to consider. So it is around 5.5 to range of 6.5. Then the mechanism of drug absorption. So the first we can say the step for the absorption of drug from the nasal cavity is passage through the mucus, and subsequently the absorptions we can say that maybe a transcellular or paracellular. So paracellular, transcellular routes are there, so within the cell and the gap between the cell. So in that, the transcellular, so for the lipophilic drug mostly through the cell membrane, so that drug cross the cell membrane by the transcellular route, and also other than that in paracellular route for the aqueous route of transport, slow and the passive diffusions are there in both the case, trans and paracellular. Other than that, the active transport routes are there via carrier mediated or transported through the opening of that tight junction. So these are the mechanism of drug absorption. Here they represent the pathways for the nasal absorption. So we have to go for nasal administration in the nasal cavity. So it go for the enzymatic degradations or mucociliary clearance are there, so that reach to the GI tract. So in both the case they are not go for the nasal absorptions. Then if nasal epithelium, so it reach to the blood systemic circulations, and that go for the targeted tissue organ, other tissue organ, then go for the elimination. And if from blood also they have to go for the CSF, they restrict the into CSF or blood barrier, but in olfactory regions if they have to go for it for the nasal absorption, that pathway, so it reach to the brain also and the CSF also. So these are the pathways, nasal epithelium and the olfactory regions. So these are the pathways for the nasal drug absorption, drug permeations. Then in the pathway for nasal absorption, so we have to see the absorption through the olfactory neurons, transneural absorptions are there, so that the olfactory epithelium is considered as a portal for the drug or substance that enter directly to the central nervous system. The blood barriers are not there. Absorption directly into the CSF and absorption through the supporting cell, surrounding capillaries, wide drainage to the drainage part. So nose brain pathways are there. The olfactory mucosa direct contact with the brain and CSF parts are there. So the medication absorb across the olfactory mucosa directly that enter into the brain. So that why for the treatment of brain, most widely the options are there that we have to go for nasal drug delivery system. So this area is termed for the nose-brain pathways and offer a rapid direct route for the drug delivery to the brain for the Alzheimer or Parkinsonism disease. Next, the barriers to the nasal absorption. So three parameters are the low bioavailability, that is the reasons for barrier or challenges part for the nasal absorptions, low membrane transport, or the enzymatic degradations. So in the pathway also we have to see that. So the degradation of protein and peptides by the presence of that enzyme that go for the degradation. Low membrane transport, so in that rapid clearance of the administered formula or dose due to the MCC. So in that example, liquid and powder formulation, so rapid clearance. So that time also the absorption problems are there. Low bioavailability means it is due to the low membrane permeability that dependent on the various parameters like molecular weight of the drug, the lipophilicity, hydrophilicity, natures. So like that. So these three barriers parameters for the nasal absorptions are there. Next, the merits. The advantages we can say non-invasive, rapid, fast or onset of action. We can say that it is rapid, higher the rate of absorption, higher the bioavailability, easily accessible, self-administration possible, that improve the patient compliance and convenience. We can say that highly vascular mucosal surface area for the drug absorption, so better absorptions are there. They directly that reach to the blood, that avoid the GI destruction, degradation or hepatic first pass metabolism, so that improve the bioavailability of the drug. Then bypass the blood-brain barrier, CSF like that barriers, so that directly target to the central nervous system, directly to the brain. So reduce the systemic exposure to the systemic side effect that we have to reduce, and we have to go for targeted part. Direct contact site for the vaccines with the lymphatic tissues. Reduce the risk of infectious disease transmission. Then we can say that the easily administers to unconscious patients also. Alternate route, then oral parenteral, especially for proteins and peptides. For the, we can say that the nasal we have required the low dose, so also reduce the side effect. Overall lower risk of the overdose part also. Then that is unsuitable the drug candidate for oral, that can be easily we can give with the nasal route. Both local systemic drug effect we can get. So like that the some advantages for the nasal drug delivery system. Then some limitations, demerits, or we can say the disadvantages. So we can see then for the nasal cavity, the delivering volume, the dose is restricted around 25 to 200 microliters. Most widely average range like 100 microliters that we have to use. So most required dose also smaller absorption surface area that we have to compare with the GI tract. Surface area is less as compared to GI tract. So then the adversely affected by some pathological condition, that enzymatic degradation, the barriers for the affecting to the permeability part of the drug. Then frequently that we have to use, so possible the nasal irritations are there as compared to the oral route. The mucosal damage are there. So that we can say that the some disadvantages or limitations for the nasal drug delivery system. The next, the factors that affecting the nasal absorption. So nasal physiological factor, the nasal anatomy physiology part, then physicochemical properties of the drug and physicochemical properties of the formulations or the dosage form. So we can see generally we can define that for the physicochemical properties of the drug, we can say the molecular weight and their size. So if higher the molecular weight size are there, so ultimately it is common that lower the absorption, similar like for nasal absorption. So for good systemic viability that can be achieved for the molecules or drug with low molecular weight, less than 300 or around 3 to 500, less than 500, 300, that is suitable. Then if lipophilic drugs, so we can say the direct relationship between the molecular weight and the permeations, whereas water soluble or hydrophilic drugs compound have inversely relationships are there. Particle size we can say 10 to 15 microns, it are added to the best, we can say that it is to the nasal mucosa. So that is the molecular weight size that affects solubility is also important parts for the any drug system or dosage form. So we can say the drug should have appropriate necessities, optimum the aqueous that we would require, that aqueous solubility they would require in that drug for the increase the dissolution and solubility part. So drug solubility and dissolution rate are important parameter or factor that determining the nasal absorptions for the powder, suspension, and the particles that deposited in the nasal cavity that need to be dissolved before prior for the absorption. So for the absorption side that required that they go for the dissolves in the nasal cavity. So if drug remains as a particles or so then no absorption take place or less, we can say that. Similar like lipophilicity, like solubility, lipophilicity also required for the nasal mucosa for the absorption part. So it is primary, you can say lipophilic in nature, the nasal mucosa. So simply we can say that lipid solubility increase, highly lipophilic, so the permeation and the absorption also increasing. So lipid soluble drugs are completely absorbed, so required the appropriate lipophilicity also. Then the partition coefficient that we have to see, then the ionization or dissociation content, the pK value. So the unionized drug or species are absorbed better as compared to the ionized species that we would already see for the common absorption. That also in case of nasal also that we would require that at the absorption side, at the nasal pH, that the drug or molecules are in ionized form. Similar like chemical state, chemical form. So chemically altering the drug molecules by adding the third substance, or adding the or modifications, the bioavailable lipophilic moieties that we have to add. Examples we can say that conversion of drug into the solid form or ester form, that can also alter this absorption profile. Example we can say that the in situ nasal absorption of carboxylic acid ester of L-tyrosine, giving the significantly greater than the simple L-tyrosine, so that the additions of that salt ester form, that carboxylic acid ester of that L-tyrosine, that increase the absorption part. Then similar like polymorphisms also altering affect the dissolution rate and the solubility of the drug, as well as that indirectly that affect into the absorption through the biological membrane. So therefore we have to, before you have to go for nasal powder or nasal suspension like that, so we have to study the polymorphic stability and the purity of the drug. So similar like physicochemical properties, parameters of that formulations. So in that we can say that the physical form, the viscosity. So viscous formulations may help in that minimizing the nasal drip. So higher viscosity that of the formulations that increase the mucosal contact time between the drug and the nasal mucosa. So therefore that increase the time for the permeations or absorption, that we can say. So the higher viscosity that affect increase the permeation part. pH, so nasal formulations that should be adjustable to appropriate pH that match with the nasal pH with our formulas, nasal formulations, to avoid the irritation. So the pH of that formulations that match with the nasal surface can affect the drug permeation. To avoid that nasal irritation, the pH of that nasal formulation should be adjusted to around 5.5 to 6.5, so it's suitable. Similar like osmolarity, So isotonicity formulations that we have to prefer. So we have to adjust it. Buffer capacity. So nasal formulation we can say are generally administered in small volume. So nasal secretions may alter the pH of that administered dose, so that we have to maintain the buffer capacities, that we have to add it buffer systems that we have to implement, like solubilizers. So solubility enhancement that we have to use, like surfactant, so that increase the solubility part of the drug. Preservatives and antioxidants that we have to add, humectant in that formula. Then enhancing the, so for the ideal characteristics, ideal properties for the drug that's suitable candidate for the nasal drug release system. So they have appropriate aqueous solubilities that we would require, at least that dissolves or that formulate into that appropriate 25 to 100 microliter volume. Then low dose, it is suitable. Appropriate absorption properties into nasal part. No irritation part into the nasal cavity, nasal root. Then that is suitable clinical rationale for the nasal dosage form, rapid onset of action required. Then no offensive odor that associated with the drug. Suitable stability part also, that these are some ideal characteristics that we have to see in that drug part for the selection part for the nasal drug release system. Then next, enhancing the nasal absorption. So that we have to get the 3 parameters, that we have to improve the contact time, residence time into nasal part, enhance the nasal permeability, permeation, penetration parts with the nasal absorption, that we have to increase. We have to go for modifying the drug structures, pro-drug-like approach to change the physicochemical properties of the drug and change in that physicochemical properties of that formulation. So that changes the enhancing the nasal absorption. So the parameters that we have to go for it. So you have to get the nasal enzyme inhibitors. So that the metabolism of the drugs in the nasal part can be eliminated by the using the enzyme inhibitors. So they can counter or control or prevent the metabolism of the drug. Then mainly we can say for the formulation of proteins or peptide molecules. Another pro-drug approach that is also used for the intranasal drug that commonly administered as a solution. So lipophilic drug can easily pass through the membranes, biomembranes, as compared to poorly water soluble drug that we have to use. So that another approach, that is permeation enhancer, that we have to use. So the role of that permeation enhancers, we can say generally they are mainly used for the enhancement of the absorptions of that drug, active medicaments, through enhancing the permeability through the membrane. So in that case, that reduce the mucus viscosity, decrease the MCC, open tight junction, solubilize or stabilize the drug. So these are the way that the mechanisms that the permeation enhancer that follows to increase the rate of at which a drug pass through the nasal mucosa. Then the bioadhesive polymer that we have to use in the formula, so it improve the retention time, the mucosal contact time, so making an adhesive force, that bioadhesive mucoadhesive base force is that adhesive force between the formulation and the nasal mucosa, that minimizing of that MCC also. So that is the role of that bioadhesive polymer. Other the structural modification, so like the prodrug, so we can chemical modification of drug molecules. So that has been commonly used to modify the physiochemical properties of the drug, like molecular size, weight, the lipophilicity, solubility parts, then the ionization constant. So these are some modifications that we have to use to enhance the drug absorption part through the nasal route. Another, that particulate drug related system, so we have to go for the liposomes, small vesicle size liposomes, microsphere, we have to small drug carriers like nanoparticles, microsphere or liposome, that we have to go for it. That also the one of the approach for the enhancing the drug absorption through the nasal route. Here we have to see the examples of general formulations for the nasal drug delivery system. So we have to use the API drug. Generally, that the focus for the drugs for the beta 2 adrenergic agonist, terbutaline sulfate, that we have to use. Corticosteroid that we have to use. Anticholinergic drugs are there, like antifungal, antibiotic, antiviral drugs also. Nowadays we have to go for it with the protein peptides are there. So these are example for the drugs that we have to use in the nasal part. Other than that, viscosity modifying agent that we have to add, so that increase the viscosity of that formulations, that prolonging the therapeutic activity of the preparation, increase the contact time for the formulations. Then solubilizers we have to use, so aqueous solubility of drug, that always the limitations for the nasal drug system. So we have to use solubilizer like glycol, polyethylene glycol, propylene glycol, like that. Viscosity modifier HPC that we have to use. Then the surfactant, then modifying the permeability part of the nasal mucosa, as well as facilitate the nasal absorptions of the drug. Example like SLS that you have to use. Bioadhesive polymer, they increase the residence time of the drug in that nasal cavity, higher the local drug concentration in that mucous lining on the nasal mucosal surface. Example, we have to use HPC, hydroxypropyl cellulose, methyl cellulose, carboxymethyl cellulose, like the examples for the bioadhesive polymer. Other than that, preservatives that we have to use to prevent the growth of microorganisms like paraben, EDTA. Antioxidant that we have to use to prevent the drug oxidation process. So the bisulfate, sodium meta, sodium bisulfate, tocopherol. So these are some examples for the preservatives and the antioxidants. Then the formulations for the nasal delivery system. So we have to go for preparing the nasal gel, nasal drops are the nasal spray that most widely used, then the nasal powder, and in the advance for the specific we have to go for the particulate based drug delivery system. So like the liposome, microsphere, nano based formulations are there. We have to see one by one the nasal gel. So nasal gels are highly viscosity, thick solution, or the suspensions are there. Examples they are given. So their advantages, so reductions of the post nasal drip due to high viscosity of the nasal gel, reduction of the taste impact due to reduced swallowing, reduction of the leakage of that formulations because gel highly viscous parts are there, reduction of the irritant by using the emollient. So this is the nasal gel. Nasal drop, that also conventionally we have to use. So nasal drop are one of the most simple, convenient for the patient, easily administered, self-administered are developed for the nasal delivery. Then main disadvantages, we have to compare the lack of the dose precisions. So drop maybe 2-3 drops, maybe increase or decrease during the administrations. So therefore nasal drops may not be suitable for prescriptions of some product. So it has been reported that nasal drops deposited human serum albumin in the nostrils more efficiently than the nasal spray. Nowadays we have to mostly use the nasal spray for both solution as well as suspension based formulations can be formulated administered through the nasal spray. The Otrivin, the examples are there. Due to the availability of that meter dose pump valve, so exact unit dose we have to actuate it. The actuators are there. Nasal spray can deliver exact dose that we have to require. Meter dose valve pumps are there. So particle size and the morphology of the drugs and the viscosity of the formulation that determine the choice of which type of pump and actuator that we have to assemble it, use it. Other than that, nasal powders are there. So there's dosage forms that may be developed if solutions and the suspension dosage forms cannot be developed. Maybe the stability problems are there. So that the advantages of the nasal powder dosage forms are the absence of preservatives, the superior the stability of that formulation as compared to the liquid dosage form that we have to see in that the suspension or the spray or the drops. Local application of drug is another advantage of that systems with the nasal powder. That formulate nasal powder that dependent on the parameter of the physicochemical properties of the drug like solubility, particle size of the drug as well as the excipient. Then nowadays the nasal vaccines are there. The nasal mucosa is the first site to contact with the inhaled antigens, and therefore it is used for the vaccination, especially against the respiratory infections. So nasal vaccination, that is promising alternative to the classic parenteral route for the vaccination, because it is able to enhance the systemic level of that specific immunoglobulin G and nasal secretory immunoglobulin A. So that we have to use for the influenza. Example for that. Then the mucosal atomization device are there that nowadays we have to use for the nasal system. Atomized spray, advanced like nasal insulin are there. So that the kit are the nasal kit, in that nasal insufflators are there. Once a day that insulin spray are there. Other than we can go for the single dose, bi-dose, multiple dose specific nowadays available for that in the nasal kit with the use of atomized spray. Then in the last that we have to say that the evolution part of the nasal drug system. So we have to go for mucoadhesive or adhesive based properties we have to find out. Then the in vitro diffusion study or nasal permeation studies are there. We have to use the Franz diffusion cell to find out the nasal permeation or diffusion parts. In vivo nasal absorption studies, there we have to go with the animal studies, that we have to use the rat, most widely rat we can use, or rabbit. Other than that we have to go for the dog, sheep, monkey, like that model we have to use for the in vivo nasal absorption studies are there. Then the applications, non-peptide product that we have to deliver, peptide based drugs are there. Diagnostic purpose also we have to deliver with that nasal route. Then the vaccines that we have to see, the influenza, anthrax are tested by using the nasal vaccines are there delivered with the. Then specifically for the drugs we have to target it and deliver to the brain through the nasal cavity, like disease condition like Parkinson disease, Alzheimer disease, or the neuron pains like that. So we have to deliver the drug to the brain. So these are some applications for the nasal drug system. Then here the examples they are given for the marketed formulations that are available based on the nasal drug system. Otrivin nasal drops are there that you have to know, based on the nasal spray. So most widely used nasal drop, nasal spray, and the nasal gel. Most widely the spray based formulations are there. With that the drug we are given the examples for that formulation. So here we have concluded that we have to see the nasal drug systems, that is the another approach as compared to the oral and parenteral. So nowadays growing the fastly for the pharmaceutical point of view for delivering the drug. So that is we have to see in that discussion the advantages, disadvantages of the nasal drug system, their anatomy, physiology, their compositions, the mechanism of drug absorption, the pathways, then the factor that affecting the nasal drug absorption, the ideal characteristic of drug that suitable for the nasal drug system, then the approaches, general formulations, marketed formulations, evolution part, and the application. Thank you.